Hello, this is Peter Marzano back with another review. I usually not going to try and do two artists in a row for a music review, but I found it appropriate today because I just purchased Kanye West's new album, Yeezus, and I think it's good to just give some instant feedback since it just came out 4 days ago, so I think it's appropriate to for me to get out my opinion on what I think of Kanye West's sixth solo studio album. So this is the cover itself. The first time I saw it, I was really confused because Kanye has usually been very extravagant with his covers. We know he obviously had the Dropout Bear for his first three albums. 808s and Heartbreak was simple, but it illustrated the tone of the album. And so did My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, even though obviously the real cover of that album was banned. Kanye is really good with trying to make sure that the album cover displays what he wants to convey in the music. With Yeezus, it doesn't say who it's by, it doesn't say what the name of the album is, it's just a clear jewel case. And, after looking at this, I kind of realized what he's trying to put out here. He has a minimalistic tone, that's his message. His message is not about anything else but music. And that's what I kind of appreciate about just looking at this, is that Kanye's being painfully honest here in what he wants to convey. Now, going into the music itself, it's hard to compare this album to any other Kanye's albums. He's not like a typical rapper where he's going to continue the theme and try and make a similar message for every one of his albums. This is completely different from every one of his albums, just as every other one of his albums has been completely different from each other. I don't think I've ever heard Kanye West be more passionate, more angry, more hostile, and I guess just more ready. He just felt real in this album, more so than any of his other ones. I think he felt like he really had a message that he wanted to get out, and there are a few tracks in particular. Just a side note, this is a short album. It's only around 40 minutes long, so it's it's a quick listen, but in those 40 minutes, he conveys so much. He gets out a message that is truly convincing. And from right off the bat, the first track of this album, On Sight, I felt something different. I kind of had a flavor of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy because he's giving you that electronic that he really started kind of back on 808s and Heartbreak, really continued in My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but here it becomes the main focus. He's very experimental, but he realizes that he can still rap, and that's shown in a few other songs, specifically I'm In It, which is one of my favorite tracks on this album. And I'm In It, it's, that's probably his purest rap song on here, but still, every track has a different message. It seems like every track is a different genre. You listen to On Sight, it sounds industrial, it sounds very electronic. You listen to Blood on the Leaves, it's auto-tuned. That sounds a lot different than everything else on here. But you listen to Bound To, and it sounds like, it has a heavy R&B sample, and it just sounds like something that's really easy to listen to. So you're going in time frames that are like so far away from each other. You're listening to stuff that sounds like it's from the future, and then before you know it, you're listening to music that sounds like it's from the 1960s as far as the sample goes. So that's why I really appreciate this album. Like I said, I don't have an opinion yet on where I'd rank this in Kanye's discography, but I really like it right now. It's one of my favorite albums by Kanye. Well, pretty much all of them are. But I think the special thing about this album particularly is that it makes everything different. Sure, I know Kanye West is cocky, he's arrogant, and not a lot of people like him, but the fact of the matter is, there's not a lot of people that are as talented as Kanye West. I don't know many other artists in any genre, putting rap aside, any genre of music, that can go out there and make something completely different sounding, and still make great music every time. There's really nobody else that can do that. And Kanye proved himself here again. He goes out there, it seems like he was on a downfall. Watch the Throne with Jay-Z, good album, but it wasn't anything close to what he had done by himself. Comes out with Cruel Summer with his record label, and it almost seemed as if, he really wasn't doing what he wanted to do on Cruel Summer because, he's with his record label, he's putting out rap that will be hits, that's commercially successful and all that. With Yeezus, this was really, it was silent. Nobody knew about it. I didn't even know about it until the week it came out. No promotion. did not make a lot of noise about what was going to be on this album, and he did that on purpose. It's because he realized that, sure, he can go around and he could be a completely different rapper when he's accompanying other people, but on his own, on these 10 tracks in Yeezus, he proves that he is himself. He goes out there and he makes a completely different album, completely different sounding from Cruel Summer, completely different sounding from Watch the Throne, and everything he's made by himself. It's a new message, it's very hostile, it's a passionate, and it's a ready Kanye West that you feel on this album. So that's why I think this will easily be one of the best albums, if not the best album of the year 2013. I'm extremely impressed with what Kanye West did in this album. On first listen, there's not a lot of tracks on here that you're going to be jamming to. Like, it's not necessarily bumping music when you're driving in your car, but it's stuff that you just listen to. You don't try and memorize the words of these songs. You just listen to, you sit back, and you respect the music on this album. And this is one of the few real albums that I've really listened to recently, so that's why I really like it. As far as my rating, I give it a 95. I think it's way up there. I am extremely impressed by what Kanye did in all forms on this album. All 10 tracks represented something different, and I think that has to be respected. So I'm very impressed. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try and be back with more reviews on a more regular basis, but this I really like. So once again, thank you for watching.